And I would not be shocked if Tet McMillan was the pick here, Joe.
Oh, I would have a problem with that if I was a Carolina Panther fan. That defense needs so much
For
help,
Ted?
bro. I
Well,
don't care. No, over a
You'd have a
defensive
problem
pick
with
in the draft.
Ted?
I have
to
a
Joe's
problem with
point,
them not addressing the defense first and foremost.
that was
That's my problem.
they gave up 31 points a game last year, and the next closest team gave up like 27.8.
Yeah, if you're gonna, you better score 38 points a game. Like, that's what you're gonna have to do here if you're gonna try to win games in Carolina. It's not that I don't like Tet McMillan, I do, but I just don't think you can continue to go this route on the defensive side. You've got to do something against the run here. Look at these needs: edge, defensive tackle. I know they need wide receiver, but they also need corner and safety too. Debro, I know you're a fantasy guy, but from a football standpoint, you really think they could take a wide receiver here and not go defense first?
Yeah, I do. Because if you're not, how are you going to give Bryce Young a true chance to prove if he is the franchise quarterback or he's not the franchise quarterback with the skill players as that he has around him right now? I mean, a starting wide receiver mashup of Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, and Jalen Coker. I love Coker as much as anybody else, but like Legette was getting out targeted by Thielen and Coker last year. How do you answer the question of, is he your franchise quarterback or not? And yeah, look, the other side of this is those 5 needs that we have listed on the screen right now, 3 of them being on the defensive side. Drafting one defense guy is not going to save that defense. They're still going to be terrible.
No, you're right. One guy isn't, but I'm also talking about the guys who, I'm talking about the team of the Carolina Panthers last year that covered a lot of games at the end of last year, Pat. You remember this, and I do too, that they were competitive. They couldn't stop anybody. They were already in games, and they stuck in games, and they hung around in games, and even, threw some shade at some other teams, right? Took some teams to overtime. The Carolina Panthers could not stop anybody. So to Debro's point, I get it. You want to give the young quarterback an elite weapon, but you still got more picks to go. I think you got to do something on the defensive side first. So it looks like Pat and I are wrong. So the old farts are not going to get it here. It looks like it's going to be Tet McMillan here, which it's not official yet, but so far our sources have been right every single time. So let's talk about it, though, because from a fantasy perspective, Debro, this is not my favorite landing spot for Tet McMillan. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Really?
Well, because I'm not a big Bryce Young guy. I think he played better.
But you like volume, right, Joey?
Well, okay, so sell me on Tet McMillan. 84 receptions last year, 8 touchdowns. Let's talk about Tet McMillan. Why do you like him in this landing spot? And then we'll get Fitz's take.
I mean, dude, he's going to play inside, outside. He's going to be their unquestioned alpha wide receiver. If we believe at all that Dave Canales can coordinate an offense, which, I mean, we just talked about, they were competitive last year with everything they had and didn't have. And now we're giving Bryce Young a true wide receiver 1. And I'm sorry, I'm going to throw some shade here, boys, too. I was told Tedero McMillan was too slow to be a top 10 pick and that history was on the side of him not being a top 10 pick. Well, it didn't happen. Hopefully it didn't happen. But, I mean, come on, guys. Like, what's the floor of targets for him in Carolina this year? 130, right? With a ceiling for a crap ton more?
Okay,
am I wrong?
So 130 targets. How many catchable balls in there, Pat? What do you think?
Good point.
Are we just saying Bryce Young played better down the stretch, or we're not talking about that now?
I think the run game helped quite a bit. Chuba was very solid down the stretch there for them,
and he's still there. Offensive line still there.
I know, but Pat, let's get your take here. It's not that I understand the volume can be there. I get it. I still have a lot of questions about Bryce Young at this level. I think he played better, but he is not at that. He's not at that level yet where I feel like I'm excited for his weapons. I think that's the point that I'm making, Pat. But what's your point?
I do understand the urge to try to maximize Bryce Young's chances of success by improving his weaponry, because I think this is, and I can sort of answer Carson Hill's question in the chat with this when he said, which is the wide receiver who's on the out, Xavier Legette or Jalen Coker? I think it's Legette. I think this is just a capitulation that an acknowledgement that the Legette pick was a failure. And they need a new outside receiver. And, I don't think Tet's going to fail. But, I think they should have gone defense. but I do like Tet, and
I
yeah,
like Tet. Projection in my head right now, I'll say 908 yards and 4
Ooh.
touchdowns. That's what he gives you.
Wow. That's some haterade, Joey.
I didn't mean haterade. I'm trying to be.
What were the numbers,
talking to
Joe?
Erickson right now.
What were those
All right,
numbers?
well, let's I said 908, 4 touchdowns. That's what I gave you.
I mean, come on, chat. Y'all, is Joey on point here?
Well, Alexander's got an interesting thing here. I'll continue drafting and playing players against the Carolina Panthers because that's how bad teams stay back. Yeah,
Good
because
point.
the Carolina I want who's playing the Carolina Panthers every week because they've missed out on a first round defensive talent, which means now they've got to hit defense often. And I'm not going to crush them yet. I'm going to watch and see what they do day 2 with the other picks they have. They've got a lot of picks coming up still. Maybe they find some gems. Maybe they work it out. Maybe they do it with volume. Okay, I'll accept that. In which case, then I like this Tet pick a little bit more. Thumbs up, thumbs down. D-Bro, thumbs up on Tet McMillan, obviously.
Big time. I'm going to draft so much
up.
Tet McMillan this year in fantasy. I already know it, dude.
So thumbs up from D-Bro. Pat Fitzmaurice, thumbs up or thumbs down for Tet McMillan?
I got to go thumbs down.
That means I'm the tiebreaker.
Wow.
I'm going thumbs down too. Oh, look at that
beautiful thumb. I'm
Like
outnumbered here.
I'm
like outnumbered.
Joaquin Phoenix. That's where it went, everybody.
Oh, and
There's nothing young about all these takes.
Let's go to Tet McMillan. Arizona wide receiver goes to the Panthers. We were kind of split about this. Debro loves Tet McMillan. I love Tet McMillan. Pat likes Tet McMillan. We all love him. I don't love the landing spot. So what side do you fall on here, Russell?
Well, I mean, reading the tea leaves early through the draft process, the Carolina Panthers head coach said, we want to put weapons around Bryce Young. And they stuck true to that through this process. And they go and get their guy, true number 1 receiver, just from his size and his build. He's a prototypical X, and they can move him around because he's so versatile and athletic. So if they want to make Xavier Legette the prototypical X, go ahead. But you have 2 big body targets on the perimeter now, which is important for Bryce Young. As we've seen, he doesn't always throw the greatest pass in the world. He's going to run around and just throw one up and throw a prayer. And that's going to be perfectly fine because Tet McMillan can come down with it. He plays with great body control. He high points the football. He does have shorter arms, so sometimes those physical press man corners are going to make some plays at the catch point, which is different for guys like Drake London and Michael Pittman. They're a little bit longer there. But at the end of the day, Tet McMillan makes a lot of sense at 8. He can run like the wind blows. We've seen it. The run after catch ability is electric. So I think it's a great pick at 8. A little rich, but I think it's a good pick. I really do. I think it's one of those that you're building around the quarterback, and you have to, because you got to go all in on Bryce Young. If not, they're back to square one.
Oh, you can go all in on him.
That's
just not
fantastic analysis. Just wonderful.
I don't think you're going to I don't think the Carolina Panthers.
I love that analysis, Russ. That's and you're going to have
beautiful. You're going to have to outscore teams. All right. I'm glad you have a friend. Maybe you are related. Maybe you actually are both Browns after all.
He's got good takes, man.
Boggs, I want to get your take on the earlier selection of Tet McMillan to the Carolina Panthers, because that's what I've been grilling everybody on. D-Bro is very excited about it.
Dude.
Fitzy and I were a little bit more lukewarm. Russell Brown was more on the Derek Brown side of things. So I'm curious. I like the player. My concern is Bryce Young really a quarterback I want with Tet McMillan? And I just don't know if that answer is yes for me from a fantasy perspective. That's my take. I think it's okay. It's not what I was hoping for Tet McMillan. But Boggs, what's your take?
I love it for Tet. And the reason I love it for Tet is because this team has no defense at all. How could this not be a defensive pick? Is my thing. They gave up the most rushing yards in a single season in NFL history last year. J.C. Horn is like their only good defensive player that's not Derek Brown, and Derek Brown tore his ACL late. So I knew D-Bro was going to be all over this. It's the first thing I said when they picked him. I'm like, we are never going to hear the end of it from D-Bro. He put Tet to Carolina in so many mocks, and it actually happened. And I think it's great because they have to play point for point with everybody now. Like that, this is what you have to do. They saw Tet as the BPA. A lot of Mike Evans comps, a big, tall, rangy guy with a big catch radius. And I think that's pretty good for Bryce Young. Doesn't have the arm to get it down the field to him all the time, but he doesn't need to go, pick up the first down and keep moving and keep that crappy defense on the sideline. I like, get
Crappy
first
defense
downs
indeed.
and drain the clock should be the name of the game for the Panthers with no defense right now.